Hi guys, this is Atco. I wanted to show you something that I use for testing things when I go to hamfests. You know, a lot of times I go to the yard sales and the hamfests and I want to sell something and it's got electronics on it, and they need to be plugged in to be tested, and rarely is there power at the hamfest that I can plug them in and let somebody see something test. Once in a while you can, but more than often they do not have power available for people out there out in the yards. So I picked up this AC power pack at a yard sale, I guess about a year and a half ago. Got it for $5 because the battery was bad. And I went and bought a new battery for it, and the battery was 60 bucks. So I got 65 bucks in this thing. They sold when they were brand new. I guess it's been almost 15 years since this particular model came out, and it was probably for sale for at least 5 years like that. And they sold for around $200. Now what it has with the battery in it, it's basically just a regular lead acid battery with an inverter in it, so that you can just carry this thing with you. It's about 23 pounds, and when it's charged, full charged, you can get about 100 watt hours out of it, which means that if you used 100 watts, you could get an hour out of that power. So, for example, here, Tektronix oscilloscope that I'm planning on selling that at the next hamfest, and it pulls about 110 watts to run. If I plug this thing in when this thing is full charged, I could turn that thing on and it would run for almost 45 minutes. Anything with more power will then use less time, or if the charge isn't completely full. But most of the time I use it to test and then I turn it off. I think the last hamfest I went to, I did have a CD player running the whole time, and I was trying to sell a CB radio, and I had that most of the time too, and that was able to run almost full time for 4 hours, and when I got home it would use probably 2/3 of the battery out of it. So I like it, and when I've used it at home too, is if I lose power, and I live out in the country and I lose power quite often, usually for 4 hours or less, I'll put this thing up, and the only thing I use it for is I use two lamps in the living room. They're 60 watt bulbs as far as how much light you see, but they're actually LED lights, so they're like 9 watts. And then I run a portable TV, so we can just watch TV while we're waiting for the power to come back. And I pull about 42 watts for those 3 items. With a full charge, I get about 2.5 hours, and then it goes out. And but I've had fun with this thing, and it's worked out best for me when I go to hamfest. When it does have to be charged, a full charge takes about 48 hours. And even when I went to the hamfest the other day, and I was just running those 4 hours for the CD player, it used about 2/3 of that battery, and it ran like 32 hours for the darn thing to charge. But I still like it, and I've had fun. The only problem that I've not been crazy about it is that if I do use it for home, for power, you know, even though I'm not using much, even with, like I showed, the 42 watts that I used just for a couple lights and a TV. 2.5 hours is all I get out of it. Okay, now I've got something new for that, and let me show you what I've got. Okay, my new power pack is called a EcoFlow River. That's the brand name, and I guess the name of the company is EcoFlow, and this river is the particular model. Now this one will give me, or my other one would give me, about 100 watt hours out of it. With this one will give me about 400 watt hours. Right now I've got this plugged into that oscilloscope, and it's pulling 108 watts, and says it'll give me 2 hours plus. It won't jump from 2 to 2.3. It'll go up to 3 for next, so it's probably close towards 3 hours. And right now you can see from this was charged, it's got it 98% still running. Nice thing about this thing, it'll give me 3 to 4 times of the time I can use than that other one. It's using lithium batteries as opposed to a lead acid battery, so it, for one thing, it's a heck of a lot lighter. My other one would be 23 pounds. This is 11 pounds. Another thing too, with a complete charge with my other one, it would take 48 hours to charge. This thing with a full charge takes about 6 hours. Comes with 2 plugs for AC, 4 UPS, and also on the other side there's a regular car plug type 12 volt. Makes no noise, doesn't need a blower. I've not felt any heat coming out of that thing. And when I use this thing, if I lose power where I'm home, instead of going out after about 2.5 hours with those 42 watts, I'll get probably 8 or more of hours, and that should be all I'll need, because generally we lose power for 4 hours or less. Basically it's just another power pack. Just gives me more power, and it's lighter, and I like it. When I go out to the hamfest or anything, it'll do pretty much anything I need, and if I want to run a fan or something, and if it's hot, I can go ahead and run the thing full time, not worrying about the battery going down. Alright, now the only thing about cost, they are kind of expensive. I just bought this thing a couple weeks ago, and I bought it on Walmart online, and it was $450. The display will turn off if it's not needed. You push the button, it'll come right back again. But overall, I think I'll be able to use it. I can get 300 watts out of this system, or 200 watts of using a USB or the 12 volt. You can use all at the same time if you're running a fan or something on AC, but then you want to charge your laptop or your phones. You can plug all those at the same time. So I'm pretty happy with it, and they're working out another one that will give you 3 times the power of that. Of course, it starts getting heavy to use it for, portable, but I'll look for more into that as it comes out, and just kind of cool. Anyways, just thought I'd show you about it, and that's it for now. This is Atco signing off.